When Nike extended Shedeur Sanders' contract, they weren't betting on potential. They were cashing in on a moment that the NFL didn't even see coming. In a league where rookies spend years proving themselves, Nike didn't wait. They watched one game and doubled down. No Pro Bowls, no MVPs, just one preseason debut, and they made a move that's echoing across the entire sports world. While NFL GMs hesitated, Nike saw a flash of something different. A quarterback with legacy in his blood, swagger on the field, and a finger on the cultural pulse. And now, while the rest of the league debates if he's starter material, Nike's already building campaigns around his name. The question isn't just, can Shedeur Sanders make it in the NFL? It's, did Nike just outplay the entire league with one massive deal? August 8th wasn't supposed to be a big deal. Shedeur Sanders was buried on the depth chart, expected to play a few quiet preseason snaps and fade into the background. But instead, he lit the field on fire, and the impact didn't stop at the final whistle. In less than 60 minutes, Sanders threw a perfectly placed touchdown between two defenders, scrambled for clutch first downs, and made throws that looked like they belonged to a decade-long vet. Then came the wrist flex, that now iconic celebration. Caught on camera, turned into memes, and shared by every sports page across the internet. But it wasn't just fans who took notice. Nike saw it all. The debut wasn't just electric, it was viral. And viral moments are priceless. The poise, the swagger, the highlights, it all became instant brand fuel. Shedeur wasn't just playing football. He was taking over screens, timelines, and conversations coast to coast. That night didn't just introduce a rookie. It introduced the brand of Shedeur Sanders. And as the highlight reels exploded online, Nike wasn't just watching. They were already making their next move. To the public, it looked like Nike jumped on the Shedeur Sanders hype train overnight. But behind the scenes, this move was months, possibly years in the making. Shedeur wasn't just some prospect who caught fire. Nike had been locked in on him since his Colorado days, when he became the brand's first ever NIL football athlete. That partnership wasn't random, it was strategic. They saw the potential early and started laying the groundwork while the rest of the league barely knew his name. They outfitted him head to toe in exclusive gear, even reviving a legendary piece of Nike history, the Air DT Max 96, the same cleats made iconic by none other than his father. Sanders. It was a throwback and a statement. Everyone else saw a rookie quarterback. Nike saw the continuation of a dynasty. So when Shedeur delivered the most talked about debut of the preseason, Nike didn't hesitate. Within days, their campaign was live. Custom cleats, highlight reels, ads on every screen. Everything had been prepped, like they knew exactly what was coming. Nike's move wasn't reactionary. It was a masterclass in anticipation. And while other brands wait for superstardom, Nike's already building it. For Nike, this wasn't just about signing a promising young quarterback. This was about reviving a legacy and rewriting what it means to be next up. Shedeur Sanders isn't just another athlete. He's the son of one of the most electrifying personalities in sports history, Deion "Primetime" Sanders. And from day one, Shedeur made it clear. He's not just riding the family name. He's building on it with his own style, precision, and calm swagger under pressure. That's the formula Nike couldn't resist: lineage plus performance. It's not common. It's not easy to market, but when it hits, it's unstoppable. Nike leaned into it hard. Special edition white and gold cleats dropped right after his debut. They weren't just flashy. They symbolized something bigger: the merging of two eras. Primetime's dominance reimagined through Shedeur's modern-day edge. And fans loved it. Older football heads got the nostalgia. Younger fans saw someone who looked like them, talked like them, played like a vet, and still had TikTok-level swagger. He wasn't manufactured hype. He was real-time evolution. For Nike, this wasn't just a contract. It was storytelling, from dynasty to destiny. And just when it looked like they'd nailed the perfect image, Shedeur gave them even more to run with on the field. It's one thing to have a viral moment. It's another to silence NFL analysts with your football IQ. And that's exactly what Shedeur Sanders did. In just a few preseason snaps, he made reads that most rookies miss entirely. While other first-year quarterbacks panic or default to jet downs, Shedeur was reading man coverage, recognizing gaps, and adjusting in real time, without missing a beat. On a critical 3rd and long, he didn't force the throw. He noticed the defense had no contain, took off for the sideline, picked up the first down, slid, and popped up like he'd done it 100 times. That's more than athleticism. That's poise, awareness, and maturity you can't coach. Then came that bootleg play, rolling out, flipping his body, throwing across the field between 2 defenders. That's a throw some QBs don't even try in their 5th year. High risk, high reward. And Shedeur delivered it on a rope. Analysts were left scrambling for words. Veteran-level touch, unbelievable accuracy, unteachable calm. And Nike, they were taking notes the entire time. Every sharp read, every silent adjustment at the line, every perfectly timed release wasn't just football. It was brand power, because when you combine dyed-in-the-wool quarterback instincts with marketable confidence, you get something the league doesn't see often. A rookie who already plays like a face of the franchise. But what really caught the world off guard wasn't just the playbook mastery. It was what Shedeur did when the play broke down. Stats can earn you headlines, but influence, that changes the game entirely. While coaches were breaking down film, the internet was already crowning Shedeur Sanders a cultural star. The instant he hit that wrist flex, watch glinting under the stadium lights, it wasn't just a celebration, it was a statement. A split-second gesture transformed into a viral GIF, copied across social media by fans, influencers, and even celebrities. But that was only the beginning. Overnight, "It's man time!" yelled in a hype clip by Shedeur's teammate, blew up across TikTok and X. The phrase became a meme, a mantra, and a merch moment all at once. Athletes saluted it. Fans quoted it. Nike? They built an entire campaign around it. Here's where Shedeur separates himself. He connects, not just with hardcore football fans, but with the style crowd, the culture critics, and the next generation of sport. That authenticity, brands chase it, and Nike saw it before anyone else. While rookies normally disappear between games, Shedeur stayed relevant every single day, trending online, featured in commercials, and driving conversations. He became part of the dialogue, even outside the NFL bubble. And that's the real story. You can teach a QB to read the defense, but you can't teach them how to own a moment. Shedeur didn't just control the game, he controlled the narrative. And with Nike fully invested, that narrative wasn't about to slow down. It was about to get disruptive. This wasn't a marketing deal. It was a power move. Nike didn't just sign Shedeur Sanders. They planted a flag in the future of football, betting big before the NFL even made up its mind. Most companies wait. They want rings, Pro Bowls, or a few years of highlight tape. But Nike, they jumped early, and that's what makes this a game changer. They've done this before. Jordan's dunk contests, Serena's dominance, Kaepernick's kneel. They know how to turn athletic moments into full-blown cultural events. With Shedeur, they saw lightning strike, a legacy name, a viral debut, and a personal brand already bigger than some starters. Now, here's where it gets disruptive. Nike isn't just building a campaign. They're signaling a shift in how rookies are valued. Instead of waiting until success is proven on paper, they're investing in personality, narrative, and influence. And that's dangerous for traditional sports marketing because it breaks the old rule book. Shedeur's deal opens the door for other young players to secure major endorsements before they've even made a name on the field. It changes the timing, the strategy, even the power balance between athletes and franchises. The NFL's been slow to adapt to the age of creators and culture curators disguised as athletes. Nike? They just skipped the line. Now imagine if Shedeur does grow into a true NFL star. The return on this early investment? It won't just be huge, it'll be historic. And that's why some front offices are starting to panic. Because while Nike was placing bets, some teams passed without a second glance. Several NFL teams had the chance to lock in Shedeur Sanders early, and they passed. The Steelers passed. The Giants passed. Other franchises barely gave him a second look. And now, they might be facing one of the coldest what-could-have-been moments in recent football history. Because it's not just about the stats anymore. Yes, Shedeur made tight window throws and showed veteran-level poise in his debut. But what these teams may end up regretting even more is passing on a walking marketing machine. A player who not only understands the game, but knows how to command attention, rally fans, and sell out merchandise overnight. While those teams chased safer picks, Nike saw everything the league overlooked: the legacy, the leadership, the viral potential. And now that the numbers are catching up to the hype, those passed-over moments are starting to look a lot more like missed opportunities. As ticket sales drop and jersey sales stall in other cities, Shedeur's stock keeps rising, not just on the scoreboard, but in the culture. He's not just winning moments, he's converting them. And if he turns into a Super Bowl-caliber QB, the regret for some franchises won't just be losing out on talent. It'll be watching another team own a star who could have defined their brand. Think about it. They didn't just miss a quarterback, they may have missed a movement. Shedeur Sanders didn't just deliver an impressive debut. He turned a single game into a brand-defining moment, and Nike knew it before anyone else. In an era where highlight reels live and die in 24-hour news cycles, Shedeur's performance stuck. Not because of one throw or one scramble, but because everything, his game, his image, his legacy, clicked at exactly the right time. Nike moved fast for a reason. They weren't waiting for a Pro Bowl nod. They weren't concerned about being early, because in reality, they weren't early, they were right on time. They saw the full picture: a quarterback with elite instincts, generational ties, and a magnetic hold on culture both on and off the field. This deal isn't just about Shedeur being marketable. It's about redefining how the NFL discovers stars. It's a warning shot to every team, every brand, and every sports marketer stuck in the old model. Wait too long, and you'll miss the wave. We're watching something rare, an athlete who's building relevance before the game even kicks off on Sunday. If Shedeur's performance continues to match his poise and persona, we might be witnessing the rise of Gen Z's first true NFL icon. A quarterback who doesn't just chase rings, but reshapes what modern stardom looks like. So now the question isn't if Shedeur will make it, it's how far ahead is Nike really playing? Because while the league was cautiously scouting talent, Nike